Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. So far, I mean, it's a beautiful morning. The sky is nice and pink off in the east, which is that direction. You might see it on one of these curves. Supposed to be getting some storms tomorrow. In fact, there's a chance of some of them becoming severe. I don't think it's going to be terribly bad, but for those of you in the Ozarks, down into Arkansas, even over there in the Mississippi Valley area, might be experiencing some storms. And then also down there, I think in kind of Oklahoma, North Texas, that area. It looks like there could be some storms. And this time of the year, you know, as the weather starts to change, and it's been abnormally warm, higher than normal warm, so it's possible. They're saying there could be some tornadoes spinning up in certain areas. So I would be, if you live anywhere in those areas, paying attention tomorrow, especially tomorrow afternoon. You might have a bumpy, wild Sabbath, so be paying attention to that. Another thing to kind of be paying attention to is, I think there's a possibility that the world is starting to kind of wake up to what's going on, to the economy and to the U.S. dollar. Americans seem to be starting to wake up a little bit to it, and there's starting to be some reaction. So gold is broken more records again. We're above 4,300. And it's, who knows, the way things are going, unless something happens, we'll probably see 4,400 by the end of this weekend at least. But the stock market's starting to react to it. Not that I care too much about that, but there's a lot of people, you know, their retirement funds and investments and stuff like that are wrapped up in the stock market. So if that big bubble, and that's all it's been, bursts, it could be another pretty bad deal. I mean, I think they're saying now that about 70% of stock market growth this year has just been AI stock. So all of this big growth is really wrapped up in just a few stocks. And if they start to, come unraveled, it wouldn't take too much for things to kind of have a landslide effect. A lot of banking stocks are starting to hurt. There's been some information come out that, big surprise, that some medium-sized banks and smaller-sized banks have done some really bad loans, and chickens are coming home to roost, and so those banking stocks are looking pretty bad. Again, with gold, Vietnam, another V word. Vietnam and Australia are starting to see what I guess you could say is gold runs, gold rushes. People are lining up outside of businesses or wherever to buy gold. And then there's reports of online sellers are restricting and limiting the purchase of gold and silver, and some are reporting that they're out of stock because so much is being bought. Some of this may just be hype and panic. I get it. But it's a lot. I think that there definitely is something going on, and at least some of the population around the world is starting to wake up to it, which means if that is true, if that's the case, we may not be too much further away from things, really taking a downward turn, meaning, well, if gold is so great, we're moving to gold and people don't trust the U.S. dollar anymore and they're dumping that, when does the dollar, really start to really lose its value? I mean, it's been losing value certainly for, since 1913, but when does it really start to take a landslide? And I've talked about that to you for several years, and I know that many others have, that, when it's all said and done, the only thing that really gives the U.S. dollar its value is just the faith in it. I mean, yes, you could say the military-industrial complex and stuff like that, or oil or whatever, but really at the end of the day, it's just faith in it. It's just this hope that it's there and that it's worth something. And if people stop with that faith, it loses faith in it, then there is no real value. And that's starting to show signs of that. And historically, how things go, whether it's currencies or stock or whatever, there's this breaking point. There's this straw that breaks the camel's back, and then once that happens, there's just this landslide effect. And the question's becoming, how close are we getting to that? Because it's starting to look like a lot of cracks and a lot of straws on that camel's back. All of the talk about war with Venezuela, war with Russia, war with China, war in the Middle East, because although there's this big claim of a peace deal, there's still, oh, there you go. Now you can see the eastern sky. There's still, Israel is dropping shells on Gaza, and Hamas is still killing people in Gaza, so it's not really a peace deal. But anyways, that's all still happening, and things are heating up with Venezuela. Venezuela claims that they have almost 1 million-person militia and army parked on their Caribbean coast, protecting it from invasion, because that seems to be the next step in this, that the United States will very possibly put boots on the ground in Venezuela. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy to think. I mean, is it possible that this could be another Vietnam? A situation where we think that we can easily go in and deal with this, and then it kind of turns south. With stuff with China and Russia, Venezuela could be the perfect place for another proxy war with the United States. So something to pay attention to also. As much as there's bad stuff going on, though, I want to really encourage everyone to push past all the negative stuff. Yes, we need to know about it. As we know about it and stay on top of it, that helps us to, I think, be more prepared, because we're aware of what's going on and how close we're getting. But we also need to be very positive in our outlook, because we're believers and we're preppers and we're homesteaders. We're working on a self-sufficient lifestyle, and we're working on a closer walk with the Father. And so those two big things mean that we are the ones that should not be worried. We should not be in this constant state of fear and panic, and this just this breakdown of our mental status because of all the stuff that's going on. Yes, it's bad and it's getting worse, but we should also rejoice in the fact that we're getting closer and closer to the end, and that light shines the brightest in darkness. Okay? The room is very well lit. You turn a flashlight on, it doesn't do much. It's not affecting it too much. You walk in a pitch black, dark room and you turn that flashlight on, it makes a significant difference. And so as the world is becoming a darker, evil, corrupt, chaotic place, the light of Yeshua and the light that shines through us, His light that shines through us, is becoming a bigger and more important deal. And so don't let your heart be troubled by all of this. Scripture tells us that we will know by the signs, the season by the signs. And so that's what we're doing. We see what season we're in due to the signs that are around us. Just like a farmer can tell you, the signs of the season and the environment and the weather based on what's going on around him in nature. We can do the same thing by seeing what's going on in politics and the economy and global matters. And so that just prepares us more, but it should not bring us down. It's a time for us to focus on family, circling the wagons, focus on the things that are most important to us and getting those things prepared. That's where we need to be putting a lot of our focus. Yes, we should know about these things that are happening. We should also be preparing for these things, and not doing it through fear, but through joy, because it's a time to bring everything together, and it's a time that we can see that we're getting closer to the end. We're getting closer to the end of this race, and that, my friend, is a good thing. So don't let all this bring you down. We should rejoice in it. Get ready. Get your houses in order. Prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.